are back again.
Yes, we are.
Rhythm and Views. Welcome,
Show.
R&V Family.
Bam.
Yeah. I'm your host, Tarius.
I'm D Morris.
And this, like you said, this is the show, man. This is the show.
It is the show, man. I mean, it's the only show to watch.
Tell us a little bit about what you do, man.
I'm a singer-songwriter, producer. I play piano. I live in Florida. I do a lot of things like that. Sign to Universal.
All kinds of stuff.
You know, my mentor is
Entrepreneur.
Clarence Avon. Entrepreneur.
All that
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you, brother?
I am Tarius, singer-songwriter, and I've touched the stage with the likes of John B., Mike McCary from Boys to Men, Color Me Bad, and Day 26, just to name a few.
All right.
And, that's what we do. But you know what, man? Today we got a very special show.
Oh, we do.
It's going to be a different one. It's going to be a different one.
Great artist, legendary artist, friend of mine. Goes by the name of Leonard Charles Williams.
That's right.
Otherwise known as Lenny.
Lenny Williams.
Mr. Cause yeah.
That's right.
So he's gonna be on the show. Born 1945.
45, 95. Okay.
He is a Aquarius.
Okay.
And from Arkansas, moved out to Oakland, California, and was did his thing. Met some people like Sly and the Family Stone,
dope.
Andre Crouch, the Hawkins Singers, Larry Graham, just to name a few.
Okay, that's what's up.
Tower Power. I mean, his history is crazy.
We're gonna let the man speak for himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
coming up.
yeah, that's definitely what's up. So, like I said, today's gonna be a different show. This is gonna be our artist spotlight. It's focused around Mr. Lenny Williams, and let's do the Zoom. Let's get right into that.
Let's get into it.
Real quick.
I apologize. I'm trying to get this thing. We're still kind of new to the Zoom chat. I was trying to get it set up right here. But anyway, okay. So it's a pleasure. First of all, I want to say it's a pleasure to actually meet you virtually.
Yes,
anyway. I watched some of your videos today. There was one I thought that was pretty interesting. Let me make sure I get the school right, because I think it was in South Carolina. They asked you to come out during a performance. I think it was South Carolina State University marching band.
Oh yes.
They brought you out. How did you feel about that performance? Because the crowd seemed to go crazy when you came out. You started singing your #1 hit.
Oh yeah, it was real interesting because I got a band. I used to be in Tower Power. We had 5 horns, and I carry 2 with me now sometimes. And so I'm used to little brass behind me. But when I walked up there in that big old, 100
big stadium and everything.
March 101, boom, I was like, almost launched me. I thought I was the Black Superman or something. Ready to just take off. Yeah, so it was. It was awesome. It was a great feeling then to see how the crowd reacts and everything. And, just being in the South, with the homecoming, just all those Black people there just having a good time. And, it's just something that people out here on the West Coast don't really get a chance to experience, so it's I grew up, I was born in the South, but a lot of folks don't get a chance to experience that. But I say everybody need to go to a Black homecoming down in one of the HBCUs at least once in their life.
Exactly.
Well, that leads me to another question. Who were your early influences?
Well, I grew up in church, so a lot of the quartet singers and things like that. I think I kind of like grabbed hold of Sam Cooke, because he was with the Soul Stirrers, they were #1. Then he made that transition. It's so smooth.
You know about that, Junior?
Y'all too young to know about that Sam Cooke
stuff. I know about that.
We actually did that recently.
Yeah, we did the research.
Y'all historians, y'all read your history, right? I was there. Yeah.
Wow.
Man, I tell you, but that Sam Cooke, I latched on to Sam, and then Sam came out of church. His dad was a preacher, so he had some business acumen too. You know what I mean? So not only was he a great singer, but probably his dad telling him, "Oh, you go down there and turn the lights on and turn the heater on for Sunday school and put them books out." So he understood the business aspect of the church. And he just parlayed that over into his music. So Sam owned his own publishing. He owned his own record company and things like that. So I always tried to emulate Sam, not only in artistry, but also in my business attitude and acumen.
Right.
So you prefer independent versus label?
Well, both of them work. Both of them work. It all just depends on how you do it. I always subscribe to being signed to a record company, and then when I got dropped, it's like, well, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna sit here and.
What dropped from was it Fantasy?
No, when I asked to leave from Fantasy, that was my first label. I asked to leave from there, and Saul Zance, the owner of Fantasy, was my good friend, so he just let me go. And then I went to Atlantic. That didn't work out. Then I went to Warner Brothers with Tower Power, and then I left there.
72.
Yeah. Then I left there, and then I went to Motown, and I asked Suzanne to pass if I could leave there.
Man, what?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it was just. They were real busy, and I just kind of come over, from Warner Brothers, and I brought an album with me, and that album didn't really happen. I had "Cause I Love You" on that album too, right?
What?
But "Cause I Love You," I didn't have the talking in it, and it was a little faster, So.
Wait. Hold up. Who produced that record? I know you worked with Michael Bennett, right?
Yeah, me and Michael Bennett, right? I produced it. Guess me and Chester Thompson, the keyboard player from Tower Power. I mean, I was the producer, but Chester, he could write out all the the manuscripts and everything like that, the charts and stuff like that. So I would say that Chester and I mean, even though my name is down there as a producer, I would say Chester and I produced that album, right?
When it was done, I know I'm rambling on, but when it was done, did you know that song was going to be an all-time classic?
Well,
that song make you want to cry, man. I mean,
but what happened was it didn't happen on Motown. It didn't happen on Motown, And then what happened was I asked Suzanne to pass if I could leave Motown. She let me leave, and then I was on the road and I was singing that song in clubs all the time. And then I slowed it down. Willie Sparks, the original drummer from Graham Central Station, Larry had fired him. So Larry had fired him, so he came play with me, right? But then he was like, "Man, you sing too many ballads. I'm a funk drummer." He said, "But I'm gonna give you one thing. I'm gonna tell you though, that 'Cause I Love You" song, man, slow that song down and put some talking in it. So that's what I did. I slowed it down, put the talking in it. Worked it for a whole year. Then I got signed to ABC Records, and then I went in and we got permission from Motown, because usually when you do a song on one label, they like for you to wait at least 3 years before you do it on another label. But I got permission from them to go ahead and do it again, because it wasn't gonna hurt them because it hadn't done nothing over there, right? Right. So then boom, we did it, and then we slowed it down, put the talking in it, and then the kicker was the day I was in there recording it. Frank Wilson, my producer, said, "Man, guess who want to come to the studio today?" I said, "Who?" He said, "Andre Crouch and Sandra Crouch."
What?
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I'm over there singing.
Yeah.
And Andre Crouch is looking down my throat. So I had
he was a bad dude.
I had to dig deep, boy. I had to go back and do some of them old gospel moans, some of them 100s, and some of that Church of God in Christ.
Some of that came from that.
Methodist hymns and everything. That was digging deep.
That
makes sense.
That talk part at the end is just cold, man. It's just.
I was trying to make Andre raise his hand and put some money in the offering plate. Hey, he raised his hand. He raised his hand, but he didn't put money in the offering.
I bet you did.
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
That gives us some backstory about the song.
Yeah,
so now when you go back and listen to it, you're like, oh, okay, now you're imagining all these things. Yeah.
Because I would have never thought that it was a fast song you slowed down.
But it wasn't fast. It was just it was a little more up tempo.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that is. My wife around there messing with the alarm system.
Yeah. We can cut that.
Oh yeah, hey, I was getting ready to. Hey, I thought they were dropping bombs or something like that. Hey, the Russians are coming though.
Listen, man, because I love you so hot, you never know. I mean,
you never know, right? Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. I know I'm still here. Yeah. When you heard R. Kelly, snatching your wrists, did you want to hurt him?
I just say, well, just call that lawyer. You know what I mean? Just call that lawyer and make it work. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because he did your.
Did he give homage though?
I think he paid you homage.
I don't know. He didn't really. No, he never did say nothing. But George, I'm thinking of his name, up in the dancer and the guy that owned the record stores up in Chicago, introduced me to R. Kelly. Right, George.
He always his name too.
He kind of managed R. Kelly for a while.
Yeah.
Right, until they said that he tried to hit on their niece or something like that. I don't know, you know, just whatever the story was. But anyway, yeah, he introduced me to R. Kelly, and you know, so I thought that maybe he would bring it up a little bit, but he never did. And so you know, just had to, you know, go, you know.
I didn't know until I had heard your record. I said, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This is where R. Kelly got it from.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the same. I mean, R. Kelly's.
Yeah, he used the same words, everything. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I knew you knew that instantly. You were like, wait a minute. Okay.
Because the riff, I don't know if you can really, you know, if the riff is really, you know, copyrightable. You know what I mean? But he used the words and the riff, everything. It's like, you know, we caught you in the closet. Yeah,
right.
We caught you coming out the closet, in the closet, getting in the closet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So we had to do that, you know. Yeah.
Right. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Well, I had a question for you. So, you've been in the game a long time. You've seen a lot of things. You've seen a lot of people come and go, and things like that. Styles change, musical instruments, and things like that. What do you feel about the difference between the state of R&B maybe back in the day as compared to today?
Oh, well, you know, I really think that R&B is in a good spot. You know, you got Anthony Hamilton, you know, you got Trey Songz. There's people that can really sing. NeYo can really sing. I know he's doing the thing that's happening today, but you know, the night that Michael Jackson died, and they had the was it the Oscars or whatever it was the Music Awards or something like that, and then they had to change up the whole script, right? And they had all the young boys singing Michael Jackson songs, and then I think NeYo came out and he just stood right there and he sang, and then Trey Songz sang, and then Usher just, I mean, the boys can sing. I know they're doing what's happening today to make their money, but you know, I imagine on a Sunday you come on up here, little brother Usher, and sing us a song. I think he could tear the church up. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Anthony Hamilton, NeYo, people like that. You know, it's Calvin Richardson. You know, so yeah. You know, I think that R&B music is in a good place. You know, it's a lot of times people think that just because you doing it and then you die or you retire or something like that it's gonna die with you. No, man, I bet on any Sunday you could go just do like that, pick a little church and go in there. It's somebody in that church.
They doing
somebody in there blown. Right. Yeah. You know, it's somebody in there doing their thing. And all they need is just to be, you know, discovered or get the opportunity. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's a fact.
Overnight Celebrity. Which samples your song,
right? Because
I Love You.
Right.
How did that song change your trajectory in your career?
You got a cash record.
It put you right back on the spotlight, on the scene.
Yeah. Hey, that cash record went cha-ching.
There you go.
Cha-ching. I was like,
cha-ching. Yeah. Oh man.
But you know, but then that goes back to the business. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I own, you know, I kept control of the writing, kept control of the publishing, and so when things started happening, you know what I mean, when the windows of heaven opened up and all that money was floating around, you know, there was, you know, it's like, you know, 77% of that money had to come to me.
Absolutely.
So 77% of the writing and the publishing came to Lenny Williams, right? You know, and then, you know, Michael Bennett got his part, I got my part, and you know, it was just a blessing. But had we not taken care of the business, you know, back in 1974 when we wrote that, you know, somebody, you know, on the avenues of America or, you know, someone up in Hollywood have been getting that money and you know, been mad one trying to find them, you know, but it's really my fault if I didn't take care of business.
Exactly. So I got a question. So you saying that's very interesting to me, because we were just talking on our show how so many artists back in the day, you know, they got ripped off, you know, taken advantage of. What do you think what was the difference between you and them? Like, how was you able to navigate around that?
Well, my parents were always business oriented. Well, my mother was really, you know, she kind of pushed my dad. And I didn't really know too much about my mother's family. And one thing about the music business has been really, really good to me. But one thing that really has done is let me meet my mother's family, because I'm going around and, you know, meeting folks and you Mildred's son? Yeah. And I found out that most of them are all successful, you know? And I said, oh, that's what my mother got that from. So I was around watching it. And then, and I made a crucial decision one time. I spent the night at Larry Graham's house. We was working on music, right? And there were a bunch of people there, you know, a lot of business people. And so I didn't want to, it was kind of foggy and I didn't want to drive home. So I spent the night at his house. I went in this room, there was 2 beds in there, right? And I fell asleep. And then I woke up about 5:30 in the morning. I looked over and there's this girl in the other bed. Wow. I was like, oh, you so California, you know what I mean? That's my first mind, right?
Right.
But then we started talking, and then she started talking business. And I'm trying to, you know, be the, you know, the little player. I said, okay, I'm gonna put the player down. I'm gonna talk business to this girl, right? And so then she said, "You right, huh?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Do you have your own publishing company?" I was like, "I don't know nothing about no publishing, right?" And she said, "Well, I'm gonna show you how to do that." She said, "You got $25, $30? I said, "Yeah." She said, "You go down to the courthouse on Monday and file for a fictitious business license." I said, "Well, how do you do that?" She told me, "You just make up a name, you know." So I took my son's name, Leonard Lonnell, Len Lund. Okay, boom. And I said, went down there, put that $35 down. Next thing you know, I had a publishing company. So then every time I wrote a song, I said, it got to go through my publishing. And so that's how, so instead of being carnal that night, I was on the intellect side.
Right.
And so
it paid off.
Wow, that's what I'm saying. That would have been one night of pleasure.
That's a jewel. Yeah.
But this is a lifetime of royalties that, you know, that be a blessing to me in my life and sustain me, and I can lead to my wife and my children and my grandchildren and maybe my great-great-grands if they take care of it and do the right thing, you know. Yeah. So you know, so don't always look at a woman. Don't look at them pretty legs first. You know, look at that brain. Right. Yeah.
With the right head.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. That's amazing right there. That's amazing. So what do you think were the biggest hurdles throughout your career?
Well, I think probably the biggest hurdle was me. You know, sometimes, you know, because I was a teenage preacher, right? And you know, I preached, you know, and so then I kind of came out, you know, kind of got out the church a little late, you know, in my maybe 19, you know, something like that. What happened was I was in college and I, you know, ran into Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, you know, and they was, you know, I seen that picture of you and you. I hate my Bible, right? And then, you know, Huey's daddy was a preacher. He was like, "Hey man, what you know, what you reading that Bible for?" You know, and I was talking, and he said, "Well, you know, them Ku Klux Klan, you know, they told the Bible too." So we got to talking, and so then I started, you know, kind of walking away from Christianity, and you know, because I was, you know, just kind of confused, right? But eventually I came back. Thank the good Lord for taking me back. You know, but the thing about it was I was always very cautious when it came to. Because I've been, you know, in the church, you know, I was always very cautious when I started going to nightclubs and doing business with people, because I was like, okay, I don't want to get caught up in no drugs or no foolishness or no crime or nothing like that, because I knew a lot of that existed in the music business. So I was cautious. So it's like being a fighter. You know, you can be, you have defense, but if you're too cautious, you got to get close enough to hit that boy. You know what I mean? I mean that you might get hit sometimes. You know what I mean? But you still got your defense. You don't want to get hit too much. But I think a lot of times I was overly cautious. So I think that a lot of good things that could have come my way, successful things, by being overly cautious, I let them go on by. But you know, the good Lord looked out for me. You know, He brought them back around. But you know, probably certain things could have happened. Because sometimes I look at myself now and I said, man, if I was as free and you know, willing to jump in, you know, the 10 feet like I am now. When I was 23, 24, 25, oh man, the sky would have been the limit. So I think that, you know, you have to be willing to, you know, to engage. You know, you got to be willing to engage. You know, because I was hanging around with a lot of cats that was doing it, but you know, but I just didn't. You know, I grew up with the Hawkins family. I mean, I was with the Sly Stones family, the Stewart family, people. But I'm just like standing back watching, and then maybe that was a good thing, because you know I watched some things that you should do, and I saw a bunch of things that you shouldn't do. You know what I mean? You know, but I think probably my biggest hurdle, I think, was just myself not willing to engage as much as I do now. Yeah.
Look, that leads you to a question. I remember hearing Will Smith talk about how he missed the role of Neo on The Matrix.
Yep. Right.
What would be that, something like that happened to you? Well, what would be like a highlight that you think you missed?
Yeah. Well, I got offered to take Smokey Robinson's place with the Miracles.
What?
Wow.
Oh!
Wow. Yeah,
what?
Right. I turned that down, you know.
Wait. So you was before the other guy that replaced
Billy Griffin.
Billy Griffin, yeah.
Wow. Right, yeah, yeah. Pete Moore.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was like, no. I just, I guess I just, I thought the platform might have been too big for me, or might have been. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what it was. You know, it was like. I always kind of stayed away from groups. I mean, I sang in groups when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't like to do the steps. You know, I'd like to kind of, be my own self. You know, but then it's like, sometimes you got to discipline yourself. You know, so
right. I got you.
Whatever reason was, I just kind of slid on by that. Don Davis called me. That had the big record company down there in Detroit with also with Don Davis. Yeah, he did all the Johnny Taylor stuff and all of that stuff.
Yeah, Johnny Taylor.
Yeah, right. He was
lady and all that great stuff.
Banker, right? Yeah. And so I passed on that. Yeah, but yeah.
Wow.
Happy though. Yeah.
We getting some gems today, man. We getting some gems.
I was gonna say, what he said, that's the testament how we was talking about this too. Like sometimes you can be your biggest obstacle. Like sometimes you can be your worst enemy. You know, we're our worst critic. So sometimes you just gotta take that, that calculated risk, and then you never know what might happen.
You gotta take a little risk sometimes. Yeah. So I wasn't as much of a risk taker when I was younger, and then and in some instances that helped me. As far as drugs and things like that. I was always kind of scary of that. But. And I think that served me well. But then in other areas, business and things like that. Collaborations. For some reason I was too much of a loner.
But you did collaborate. What's that guy? Kenny G.
Oh, Kenny G. Yeah, I did a record with Kenny G.
I seen that.
Yeah,
I seen that. Kenny G got that long money, man.
Yeah, he do. Right. I was just riding down the freeway one day, and that was when they had beepers. They didn't have no telephones, and beep beep. I say. Oh, it was my boy, Clayton Richardson, I think it was.
Okay.
And so I find my exit, get to the telephone booth, put my money in there, called him. Hey, what's up? He said, oh man, Nado Michael Walden, he doing Aretha Franklin, and they threw this little saxophone player in, and I wanted to know if you wanted to do a song, with him. And they thought, since you had been in Tower Power, you're going to be a good collaboration, right? And so I slid on over there, and then bam, did that record, sold 16 million copies, right? Yeah.
Wow. That's big. That's big right there.
Hey, Leonard, you got an extra room? I can come stay at your house.
We got plenty of rooms, man. We got plenty of rooms. Yes. All the kids are grown, everything. We got the what they call it, the empty nest over here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Probably feels really good too.
Yeah. I watch you on Facebook all the time. I see what you do. I see your wife. Beautiful situation, man. And
God is good. God been good.
So much.
Yeah.
I got another question.
Yeah.
So I watched one of your newer songs. I think it's let me make sure I get the name right. Still, came out in 2012.
Right.
How did you feel about that video? Like, who shot it for you, and how did you feel? Was it the whole process, or?
Yeah, I went to New York, and Ellerby, what's that first name? But he's a famous publicist, and I had hired him, and so he did the video for me. And Kipper Jones and Andre Crouch's nephew, Keith Crouch, wrote that song. Okay. And and I got it from a friend of mine, Ken Wilson, who used to be the vice president over at Arista and Motown and Universal, you name it. He's been vice president at a bunch of different places. And so he the one brought the song to my attention. And then then I hooked up with LRB. God, I can't think of his first name for nothing. Yeah, but anyway.
That sounds familiar. That sounds
yeah, he was been publicist for Beyonce and all kinds of people back in the day. Yeah, right. So I'd hooked up with him, and so he set up the whole video thing. Matter of fact, we did it at his house there in New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Jersey.
Jersey.
What part of Jersey?
I don't know, but it wasn't. It was close to the airport, kinda. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably North Jersey then. That's probably North Jersey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the video, man. I want to say I enjoyed that, man. And the track is really smooth.
Still,
I like that.
Nice. It was a nice little recliner you were sitting.
Yeah.
And you had some nice shoes on too. I know the shoes was hot.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, he hooked me up with the stylist for the clothes and everything.
Yeah, man. Look at Lenny. Look at Lenny.
Yes. Yeah.
Man,
get that New York, New Jersey.
I've always been into vocalists like Marvin Gaye, Russell Thompson Jr., Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway.
Yes.
And you're in that. Your voice is unique. You have a very unique sound, unusual sound, masterful sound.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know.
Yeah, those some great names you threw out there, right?
Yeah.
Just look at
I know you met all of them. You met Donnie and Marvin and them.
Yeah.
Those are you're a vocal beast. I call it a vocal beast.
Well, I try to listen to a lot of people, because I mean, really, that's kind of where you get it from. You grow up and you all these sounds that you hear at church or you hear on the radio. They kind of go inside and you mix it all up, and then you try to do your thing, and it's a little bit of everybody. And so so I kind of give credit to to the people that came before me. I grew up and I went to like a pretty fairly large sized church, and I was just kind of like one of the little singers in the choir. And then a friend of mine talked me into going to this little tiny church. And because he said some pretty girls over there, we'd be the big fish in the little pond right over there. So we went over there, and so then it's like, okay, Brother Williams, can you sing A and B selection? Over there I was just singing in the choir, the church I grew up in. And I went to that little church. I was singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Singing nothing, Brother Williams, And so it's kind of how I perfected it. But then it was like, it was tiny, and it was mostly a bunch of women at the church, right? So when they get to clapping and shouting and carrying on, I could never hear myself. Because it was just so much going on. So I tried to develop my voice where I could project. I want my voice to stand out among all these women and all this tambourine going on. This little sanctified church right there. So, because I grew up in Baptist, so when I was a teenager, I started going to the sanctified church. I said, they make so much noise in this sanctified church. A Negro can't hear himself. I said, sure. So then I just kind of developed that whole thing of projecting my voice. So, so when I went to R&B, it served me well. Yeah.
Now, how do you project your voice? Now, see, we R&B singers too, and I want to learn from, what I mean?
Well, I try to do my voice exercises at least every day,
I saw you do that online too. I saw that.
Yeah, right. You do my voice exercises. I saw that. And I try not to yell. I say, hey, with a wife, 6 kids, 12 grandkids, and 2 dogs. It's kind of hard not to yell sometimes.
You said 12 grandkids?
Yeah.
Man, Lenny.
Wow. Yeah, my boys, they work at night. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nighttime. It's his time to make a baby. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. So, but you just kind of learn how to use your voice. But as I get older, I'm and wiser, I fall in love with the microphone, because the microphone can help save your voice. Give your voice longevity. You let the microphone work for you.
I listen to a lot of singers that are from back in the days to today. They still sound good, but when I heard you singing at a lot of your live show, I said, damn, Lenny.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, I said, Lenny's, I mean, I'm sitting there watching, like, Lenny's voice is just, because
that doesn't happen for everybody.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't happen.
But when I heard you do, because I love you, and I watched a few of them online,
Mm-hmm.
like different shows. I'm saying, wait a minute, he got to be doing something because your voice is the same all the way through. So I'm like,
I don't smoke.
Yeah.
And I don't drink,
No smoke.
And I try to get my rest.
Yeah.
Especially after the show. I mean, after the show, at least for a couple of hours, you got to try to
no talking.
Quiet. Yeah, no talking.
I've heard Johnny Gill. I heard Johnny Gill say that.
Yeah, you got to. I do shows with the OJs, but when they leave the stage, they got about 4-5 towels wrapped around their neck. Yeah, you watch them. They be all them clean, beautiful suits and stuff, and everything. And boy, they'll get them towels from the hotel. 1, 2,
That's
3.
That's a tip right there. That's a jewel. That's a jewel right there, son.
Yeah, cover that mouth up, that nose, and everything. But but after the show, and even before the show, it used to be the guys in my band that we get to the airport, we get in the car to ride. And they didn't want to get in the car with me because I didn't have no air conditioning on.
You got it right.
I don't care how hot it was. I didn't have no air condition. I didn't talk. They be telling jokes and everything. It's like, oh, Lenny ain't even talking. So I don't even. On the day of my show, I wouldn't even talk. But I know I got older. I do talk some, but the day of my shows, I wouldn't say a word.
Wow. Thank you, man. Thank you.
So all of those things are.
No, you ain't gonna be able to that. You talk all the time. He ain't gonna be able to take that.
No, but I did notice that. And I do because I do like 5-6 shows a week, right? So, and my technique has gotten a lot better because I speak.
Yeah.
I try to speak from the mask area.
Right.
For a little nasally, but it works for me. And I found out when I use that technique, it helps. But if I sing too much and I laugh too much or I'm talking too much, it does affect you.
And then when I'm in a club, and large surroundings, I don't, people come up to me, hey, Lenny, what's going on? I don't talk in clubs and stuff like that because you're trying to talk over that music, the DJ and everything like that. As a matter of fact, my wife, she's was a Warrior season ticket holder, right, for the Warriors, right?
Oh, okay,
yeah. So I'm on the road all the time, so I very rarely go with her, right? So I go with her every now and then, just let everybody know she got a husband, right? She's a man around here, right? But when I go, I don't talk, right? And then I said, well, you gotta let them know that your husband's not a mute, not antisocial, but I just,
he's preserving his voice. That's all.
I use my voice, so Steph Curry hit one of them 3-pointer, 9-pointers, or whatever. Everybody jumping, hollering and high-fiving. I high-five you, but I won't say nothing. I don't do nothing. I said, because I fool around and be yelling for the Warriors, and then I can't make the house payment next week because I can't sing, So I just, maintain, because, you hear a lot of those coaches, like Doc Rivers and all them, they be hoarse. I mean, they perpetually hoarse because they yelling over all that noise all the time.
The coaches, right.
I can't remember who it was. It was one coach, I can't think of, famous coach that had a problem with his voice for years. Just all
that.
Just yelling and screaming. But I go on Google and I Google voice. I'm damn near a doctor of voice. I say I have the knowledge of it.
Right.
I could don't let me operate on you.
You have a doctorate too from
Yeah, right, from
California,
University, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, you have a doctorate,
Right. But what I mean is, like, I have a lot of knowledge about the voice because I go on Google and I study. You can just Google, voice exercises, things not to eat for singers. All kinds of things. I found. Do you know that my voice teacher told me? I was telling her about lifting weights. She said, "Oh, you should be careful when you lift weights." And
I heard about that too. I heard that. I've heard that.
Fill me in. I never heard of it.
That most
anyway.
weightlifters, there's a high incidence of weightlifters having polyps and nodules on their vocal cords because when they do that, they're straining, right? Okay. And so that's why it's not good for singers to lift too much weight. You can lift some weights, but you don't lift enough that's gonna make you grunt and strain, and eventually you got polyps on your throat and you can't hit your notes and all this other kind of stuff, right? So there's all kinds of things that you can find out on how to preserve your voice, things to do and not to do. Yeah.
And it doesn't help if you're constipated.
Exactly. All of that.
That's a whole other set of problems right here.
But what?
He's a comedian too, right? I see. Yes.
Yeah, he tries. He thinks so. He laughs at his own jokes.
Yeah, I know. What advice would you give up and coming artists like Tarius and D Morris, or anybody that's listening? Because we have
just be good at what you do. You know, I mean, just really, put yourself into it. Learn all about it. Just be good. Whatever you're doing. If you an engineer or sound man, light man, singer, writer, be good at what you do. I always tell people, try to be, have a good personality, because, you could go to a radio station and there's somebody working at the front desk and, you're a little snotty to them, you know what I mean? Or maybe not even have a conversation with them. Then you come back 3 years later and they're the program director, and then they, you know what I mean? You already, you know what I mean? You had a chance to.
You already made him mad at this point.
Exactly. And then I tell people not to get involved in substance abuse. Because I mean it can ruin your career, can ruin your your gift. And embarrass you or something like that, so those things, and then don't leave your money in the dressing room. See,
I told you about don't leave your money in the dressing room, man.
Don't leave that watch. Your grandpa's watching that dressing room. You have it all in your pockets. Sometimes you go out, you got nice gig, you done made some money, they give you 20s and 5s and everything. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Lenny got a big booty. Yeah, that's that money back there, right? Yeah, so all that stuff,
pocket stuff, boy.
stay current, try to stay current, those
sir.
Things,
What are you promoting right now? I know you got.
I got a new song out. Called Southern Girls.
Southern Girls, I like it. Yeah,
matter of fact, it was the second most added song on in adult contemporary this week. Right? Yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
Right. So we're excited about that. I wrote that with Levi Caesar, who was the guitar player for Prince's New Power Generation band. He played bass in that band, and he also played guitar. So him and I wrote that. And we got the new album out, Fine, and so we're excited about that. It came out right around the same time the COVID, so we experienced some difficulties, but we're really excited about it. And so that's what we're working on right now, and so we just marking our time and wait until we get the green light for this COVID to be over. So, but right now it's Southern Girl. We're really excited about that right now. It's doing real well, and so we got our fingers crossed.
Are you going to be shooting a video for that, or are you going to kind of wait till COVID?
Well, I was going to do a video on it, and then
you need one. This the guy to see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I shoot videos too.
real good, Lenny.
And then what happened was these young ladies out of Slidell, Louisiana, took it and did a line dance to it, and they put it up. And
I seen that.
And then the next thing you know, it got about 38,000 views, right? So we was like, okay, so then we was like, then somebody in Chicago did one. So we was like, okay, hey, maybe might catch on that, all the, the women, the girls, young girls, do videos, and then
right. I got you, right.
And then those people know each other, and so you don't want to get in a situation where you get a bunch of people together, and with the COVID. And they wind up, with virus or anything like that. So we're just trying to be careful, but it just seemed like that it's kind of happening naturally, So to the video producer there, if you got 3 or 4 young ladies that want to dance the Southern Girl, boom,
but
you can do it on the iPhone and put it up, and it helps us, and it helps the record and everything like that. Yeah, so we're excited about that.
We're gonna promote you.
Yeah.
We thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Yes.
I love you, man.
Thank you for taking the time.
Man, it's an honor.
Y'all got my email and my phone number and everything. So let's stay in touch.
Listen, I'm gonna send you a message. I'll call you. I'll send you a message with with the video, and then I'll put all your links on the video from your Facebook.
Great. And tell me a joke every now and then, make me laugh.
Oh, well,
yeah. Mr. Jokester. So
Y'all be good. All right.
I got you.
Okay. God bless you now. All right.
You too, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right now.
Man. Lenny,
yo, man.
Ooh,
yo, I like them interviews, man. I like the interviews, man.
Lenny, we thank you
Learn
so
a little
much,
something.
man. Lenny, man, dropping jewels,
yes,
man.
absolutely.
Man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome, man. And he's such a humble
very
guy,
humble,
man.
yeah.
Just very, very nice guy.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put his information on screen and all that good stuff.
How to reach him and his
how to
little
buy a
songs and stuff.
CD, his song and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Play a video, you know.
Yeah.
And you know.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Hopefully we do another one really soon.
We talking to some people right now.
Yeah, we're talking to some people. Some things are coming up.
Somebody's calling me right now.
Okay. Let's go ahead and answer that real quick.
Black Street.
Probably like Monday or Tuesday.
Let's do Monday.
Okay.
What time?
You tell me.
Let's do.
Call me on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Give me heads up.
Oh, how far you guys are close to finishing the album?
Well, we got like 6 songs in.
Oh wow.
We got like 3 more. We just gonna do like 10 songs, man. It's amazing, man. Wait till you hear it, man.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna call you back, man. I love you, bro.
All right, no doubt. All right, bro.
All right, peace.
What's up, man? So yeah, big things coming. My big gang of Guam.
Black Street coming. Black Street is coming.
Yeah. We got
new album from Black Street. I know we talking about Lenny Williams, right?
Yeah, we talking about Lenny. We getting carried away. But we talking about the
here.
interviews. We talking about the interviews. We got a lot of things popping. Got a lot of things playing for y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, also make sure y'all check us out on Urban X, man. We got a little commercial on Urban X, man.
Is a father and son podcast.
Yes. I'll put the information down here.
And they're very popular online. We follow them, so we got our commercial.
Yeah.
On and they previewed yesterday.
That was I think it was Monday. Yesterday was Monday, right?
Monday.
No, that came on Monday. It was on Monday. Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we got that popping. Also, make sure y'all check out the merch, brother. We got the merch.
And then we got the mask. We got the mask.
Everything is in the description below.
Everything is everything.
Yeah. But with all that being said, man, you wanted to give a shout out to somebody before we hit the road.
Oh yeah, before that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the like button right now.
Yes.
Mash that like button, like
Willie
D said, mash the like button
now.
Mash the
like button.
Subscribe. And I want to give a shout out to my friend, my good big brother Marvin. He is a good friend of mine, supported me from day one, always supports my music. And he also sells movies, like the old school Chinese Kung Fu.
That's right, I met Marvin. That's right, I know who that is. Yeah. He was out there on Welcome to My World.
Yeah, he loves your music
the car
too,
he's driving. Oh yeah, that's what's up.
He loves your music.
That's what's up.
So he can be reached at ShaolinVideos.com. ShaolinVideos.com. And he has
shout out Marvin. What's up?
Oh yeah, he has a whole he has any video you can think of, the 5 deadly venoms, the 4 deadly venoms. When there was 1 deadly venom, he got that one too. He got all the videos out there, man, all the kung fu stuff, man. He's a good guy. He's my brother.
He got the 1 venom too?
The one he got
the black venom.
No, he got the infant venom.
The Spider-Man venom.
He was a young venom.
He was a young venom. Okay.
Yeah, he got that movie too. The infant venom.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Like I said, this was a great show. Thank you, brother, for making that happen, man.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And hopefully y'all appreciate what we're doing for y'all, man. If y'all like it, like you said, man, subscribe. Tell a friend about it. Leave a comment.
That's right.
All of that stuff, man.
And if you got any songs you want to put me on the show, any videos,
how we do it, man?
Rhythm and Views Show. Email us at rhythmandviewsshow@gmail.com. And we'll
get it on for you, baby. It's just that simple. That's right. So with that being said,
we're gonna catch you on the B-side.
Come on.